Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It is May 7th, 2025. It's the morning run. But dig this 30 years ago today, May 7th, 1995, Reggie Miller scored 8 points in 9 seconds. Woo! But another thing happened on May 7th. Hey, I said practice? Are we talking about practice? So we're going to talk about Chico today. Special guest E. Dewey Smith coming in. It's the morning run.
Live and in effect, back like vertebrae. It's Uncle Neely, BiggDogg, Chico, Philip Dukes. It's the morning run. We have a special guest for you guys. Y'all stay tuned for that. But we're going to talk about the latest and greatest in sports and entertainment and culture. Before we get to that, Philip Dukes live from the ATL. Uncle Neely from Mississippi. I'm from the middle of the ocean, Pacific, that is. Oh, now, what's happening, fellas?
What's up, Chico?
What's up? Y'all already cheesing, man. What y'all been on that good this morning?
It'd be the off-air content, man. We're going to have to start recording the off-air content and at the end of the season produce the lost clips.
Man.
If y'all can see the show before the show started, like it really be on one.
I believe y'all be getting right before the show.
Chico.
Unless I'm just a funny guy. What is it? Am I cracking jokes?
Oh, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Chico, Dukes, I know we're going to get into some NBA present. But man, oh man, I got to take it back. I was 23 years old. I was watching the New York Knicks and Pacers game 1, and the New York Knicks had the game in the damn bag. I mean, Reggie Miller on this day 30 years ago scored 8 points in 9 seconds.
Went crazy.
Unbelievable when that happened.
That's when he hit the 3, stole the inbound pass, hit another 3.
Yep.
How did he get the 2?
I think it was free throws.
Okay. He scored 9 points in 8 seconds or 8 points in 9 seconds?
8 points in 9 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Free throws, yep.
Man, it was unbelievable, man. But another thing happened on this day, like we did in the prelude. Allen Iverson gave us something that will live forever. That press conference, May 7, 2002. Are we talking about practice? Not a game.
Oh, we're talking about practice. That was him and was that Larry Brown?
Yeah.
Gotta live forever right there.
Live forever.
Bro, he was serious too. Like, bro, we talking about practice. Yeah. Not the game.
Not a game.
He meant every word too.
Did y'all bring me here to be the franchise player?
Right.
Am I not the franchise player? But we're not talking about what I do in the game. We talking about what I do in practice. We talking about practice.
The last thing we should be talking about, what he was trying to say. I go out there and perform, not the guy who go out there and give his all on the court. But y'all come here asking me about practice.
Let me ask you this.
Not a game.
Do you think if AI were to revisit that time, and I haven't seen if he said it on a podcast or anything, but do you think for somebody who's out of the game now, would he say the same thing? Now he doesn't have right now he probably couldn't practice at the level that he used to practice.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this globally, and I'm gonna go with my Muhammad Ali quote. Muhammad Ali said, "A man at 50 that still thinks the same as when he was 20 has wasted 30 years of his life." So I would hope that he sees that moment differently now and would say something differently now, even though the spirit may be the same, because y'all were picking on the franchise player about practice. But I think AI at 50 handles that differently than he did then. I would hope. Shout out to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Shout out to Buck. Yeah.
I think he look at that situation now a little bit differently. Like you said, as a grown man, you know, he probably would have tried to articulate himself a little bit better, or he probably would have went about it a different way. But I think he was going to stand on what he was trying to say, you know, and let them know that, man, y'all worried about the wrong thing. Do y'all ask anybody else about this? Y'all worried about me? I'm doing what I have to do in the way that I do it.
What did Larry Allen even say? Like, I mean, not Larry Brown. What did Larry Brown even say in the first place?
Well, you teed it up for me right here. May 7, 2002. AI gave us a moment that will live forever. The reporter So you and Coach Brown got caught up on Saturday about practice. What had happened, Iverson had been showing up either late for practice or not showing up or walking through practice, trying to take care of his body. What we call load management these days.
Mm-hmm.
Iverson said, if I can't practice, I can't practice. If I'm hurt, I'm hurt. Simple as that. It's not about that at all. But it's easy to talk about and sum it up when you just talk about practice. We're sitting here, and I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we ain't here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and I die for and I play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving that aside like I don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we're talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice?
Practice?
We're talking about practice, man.
Even when you read it over, it's funny.
Don't you?
Practice, dog.
Oh man, that was
The
funny.
reporter said absolutely. Iverson said, "You see me get everything I got, right?" Reporter said absolutely. And then Iverson said, "What we talking about? Practice?
Practice.
AI, that's gonna live forever, man."
Yeah.
But
And
like y'all pointed out, the crazy thing now is it's being embraced as load management now.
Oh yeah.
You give it a different name nowadays. This guy's arrogant, that guy's confident. This guy doesn't want to practice. Oh, we're calling it load management.
Chico, me, you, and Dukes got mamas from the South. What we grew up called leftovers, they call it meal prepping now.
man,
my mom been meal prepping since the 70s. Hell, when everything ain't gone, you portion it up for the next day. AI would just say, look, man, I'm taking care of my body, man. I know me better than these trainers know.
Right.
Like Larry Brown want me running suicides in practice and the playoffs just started. Like, why would I do that?
Hey, like they call food that you do something else with repurposing.
Yeah.
For us, that was maybe I was looking at the refrigerator to figure it out.
Yeah. It's food in the refrigerator.
Make a way out of nowhere.
You can't tell me spaghetti sauce on top of a piece of white bread wasn't pizza.
That's all it is.
What you talking about? Man, throw that thing. Chico, why you look like that?
He from Selma and they didn't do that.
Man, please. I done had A1 sauce sandwiches. What you talking about? I had a wish sandwich. Wish I had some meat up in that thing.
I done got home late for dinner. Out shooting ball and everything gone. But the only thing left in the skillet was the gravy around the side. I had to make a gravy sandwich.
Man. Chico said you.
I heard you, Duke.
What you say, Chico? He had a wish sandwich.
Hey,
what wish mean?
Ugg had so many pauses last night, Duke. Ugg had so many pauses last night. He went on. He rapid fired them things so fast I couldn't even catch all of them, Dukes. He came back to back with them like he was crazy.
Chico, what's a wish sandwich?
Wish you had a piece of steak in there.
No, you said meat. you said you wish you had some meat. Y'all get it all out for the pastor. Come on now, get it all out.
Right.
Yeah.
Get it all out for the pastor. Go. Hey, Dukes, Chico, let me tell you this, man. I still believe what I believe, but Neely about to stop picking these NBA games. I'm 0 for awful.
And I've been spot on, except for the Indiana series. I think I said Cleveland.
You did. Don't try to back up. You said
anyways, I said the Knicks and I said the Nuggets. That's who I'm going with, big dog. Knicks and Nuggets.
Yeah, but I still say, like, even the way the Pacers won last night, I don't think it's sustainable. Even the way the Golden State Warriors won last night, I don't think it's sustainable. It's already announced that Steph is not going to play game 2. And so shout out to them for stealing game 1, like literally, because Steph didn't play most of the game. They got out of it with a big win. But who would think, Duke's your homeboy? At one point, Ant-Man was 0 for 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I think last night what you saw was, and this is what we talk about addition by subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have the guy on the court, you got to figure out who can score. And what you saw was a team effort and the defensive intensity picked up by the Warriors last night. They knew what was going on, and their ball, like, I don't have the exact stats, but I would venture to say that was probably one of their better games when they came to rotating the ball. Buddy Hield been shooting the cover off the ball lately.
Yeah, man.
Like, so when you think about, and then what being able to have that flexibility at the top when you could go Jimmy Butler at the point when Podinski's not in. I mean, now you put, and this is what we haven't seen so far, is putting the T-Wolves at a disadvantage on the perimeter. So when you got Buddy Hield and you got Jimmy Butler as your backcourt, who do you pair with Ant-Man? It can't be Conley. That's a mismatch for Hield or Jimmy Butler. Can't be DiVincenzo because he can't guard either one of them. Like, I mean, and if you really want, and if you wanted to say Buddy Hield was to facilitate through, if Jimmy Butler takes him to the post, if somebody's got to rotate the Buddy Hield, how many 3-pointers did we see last night where the T-Wolves were a step later rotation? So I think some of that definitely had to do with not being prepared for being able to have to deal with that second unit for as long as they did, or that rotation of players. Looney did a great job on Gobert, man. Gobert, so, hey, man.
Goofy, man.
Yeah, man. One time he got, like, the T-Wolves was on a run. I think it was maybe 4 minutes left. They got it down to 9. He ends up with the ball in his hands. About 9 seconds left on the shot clock. All he had to do was kick the ball back out. Man, this dude decides that he's gonna take a hesitation dribble and try to go up, and he lost the ball before he even got to the paint, and that was basically the game. It was like everybody just turned around looking like, bro, what the?
No, like, dog, like you spot on right there, because at that moment, the time left, the score, the momentum, if he gets to the basket, gets an and one, or gets a foul and goes to the line, or just hits the damn rim, anything, like the momentum just flipped to the Timberwolves. Because what you could just get a sense with Golden State, and before somebody, shoot at me, I'm about to tell you what the first words out of Jimmy Butler's mouth post-game interview was, damn, it's hard to win without Steph Curry.
Yeah, it was.
And it was very hard for them to keep that lead without him. And all they needed was just something to happen. And, like, Gobert goofied it up. And but shout out to Draymond offensively. I think Draymond might have had 10 before Ant-Man even scored.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and when you get it out of Draymond, it makes them a different team, right?
Oh,
18
absolutely.
points from Draymond.
Yeah, that's like, when was the last time he did that?
8 points. 8 rebounds, 18 points, 4 of 10 from 3-point land. So he was jacking them things up.
That's the difference.
Yeah. No hesitation.
Chico,
he had a significant contribution before Curry left. Like, Curry was still in the game when a lot of that happened. Big Pitt shot a shot at Chico. Big Pitt $5 super chat. Appreciate that, Big Pitt. I said it last night, but Chico skipped over it. Golden State is not the sorry Lakers.
You talking about last night? Like, I really skipped over. You talking about last night?
Are we talking about today's show or last night?
We talking about today's show. We talking about last night.
That was good, Chico.
Come on, man. Let's go here, though. Let's go here real quick. We got to go to Duke's boy. Big trade just went down in the NFL.
NFL
young boy. George Pickens. Dallas Cowboys made a major move, trading for wide receiver George Pickens from the Steelers. In exchange, Dallas sends a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick to Pittsburgh, while getting back Pickens and a 2027 sixth-rounder. What do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about this trade right here? Dukes, especially you. That's your guy.
Man, you just better have the right people around. You better give them the ball. Yeah, like Pickens, Pickens doesn't. When you talk about detrimental to the team and stuff like that, like, you're not gonna see like a whole bunch of outbursts from Pickens. But you're just gonna be able to tell. And I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh felt like he had, there was some fracture in the locker room with him being there. And so you get ahead of it. Like Deontay Johnson, they known to find a wide receiver and get him out of there when it doesn't go. Like, they'll draft a receiver. You go even go back to who may have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, or it may not be the classic, not classic, but more of the tougher, we don't care, young boy type receiver. So you go all the way back to Martavis Bryant. Think about Deontay Johnson, who they got out of there last year, and they always find another one. But Pickens, man, that just ain't no another one, dog. Pickens really hasn't been in an offense where he can really get off. Like, you haven't seen him play with a quarterback who was able to get him the ball downfield and get in a million situations where he can show off his true ability. Pickens getting one-on-one coverage is going to be a nightmare for the NFC East. Now, will you be able to feed him enough to keep him happy? And I think with CeeDee Lamb being the target monster that he's been over the past 2 years, do you even have to? So it's just going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works. But I like it, man, because if you double CeeDee Lamb, you leave George Pickens one-on-one, it may be one of those things where he don't have to get a million targets. He'll just get 12, 14 touchdowns. The man never had over 750 yards in college. And he was just fine at Georgia. So as long as he's winning and scoring touchdowns, I think he'll be fine.
I love that, Dukes. And I think that speaking to it from the Steelers standpoint first, you had to get him out of there. And you had to get him out of there because you didn't pick Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback, which means you still don't have a quarterback. And one thing about a receiver like that who demands the ball, demands attention, has a strong personality, if you're going to have him in a situation that he ain't even got nobody that can give him the ball, and you got a DK Metcalf on the other side, you were just asking for volatility. Sometimes you can just better the situation by like, hey, look, it's not like the Cowboys in the division with us, that kind of thing. Like, this is a perfect place to ship him to, let him be somebody else's asset or somebody else's headache. And I do believe because of his personality, there's never a situation where he can get enough of the ball. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's the kind of guy you want. But I think with CeeDee Lamb on the other side and the attention that he commands, you're going to have to pick your poison. Both of them going to eat well with deep balls and yards after the catch with their speed. And so one guy, week 3, may have more catches, but the other got more yards and touchdowns. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a nice balance. They're going to be able to coexist. But from the Steelers standpoint, you almost just had to do this. But why send them to Cincinnati or the Ravens or the Browns? Get him gone. Like, hey, man, don't even come to the AFC at all. Go to the NFC.
Yeah. Right. One word answer. Who won the trade?
Cowboys.
All right. We got Pastor E. Dewey Smith coming up next. He's backstage right now. Any other topics we need to talk about? Y'all let us know in the chat. Dukes, y'all got anything else before we go to Pastor?
No, I just hope you don't do one of them intros you be doing.
Nah, go ahead and hit it. Go ahead and hit it.
Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. None of it.
All right. He's going to say he's James Worthy of the clergy.
As a matter,
he's the pastor with a purpose. He's the man with a plan.
Yes, sir.
He's the beach with the sand.
Ooh, go ahead, Dukes.
Now go ahead, bro.
Bring him home, Dukes. Come on, Dukes. There he is, the Reverend Dr. Pastor E. Dewey Smith, joining us on the morning run. How you doing, Pastor?
You muted.
Make sure you unmute it, Pastor. There you go.
BiggDogg, Chico, Uncle Neely, and Dukes. What's up?
What's happening?
We got it, family. We got it, man.
Dukes, I know. Neely preached. He preached all the time, but I know you had some preaching. I almost started playing the organ right there.
Hey man, and guess what, Pastor? I'm really messing with Chico when I started doing that. And I was like, oh, let me get up out of it. Don't let me play with it. No, I ain't on it now.
That spirit started to move on you. You started to feel it.
Hey man,
you're not ready to call yet.
Good to see y'all, man.
It is the morning run, and we are joined by a special guest, Pastor Dr. E. Dewey Smith, out of the ATL. Pastor, I got to mess with you. Got to jank with you.
Okay.
How you been doing lately?
Man,
you been all right?
Man, you know what?
You?
Hey man, it's always Sco Bus, man. It's always Sco Bus. I'm gonna look out for the bus, and I'm gonna look out for my people. You know what I mean? That's why I am, man. So I'm the peacemaker, I'm the diplomat. But you know how it goes. Sometimes the good book says, "In all you get understanding."
Mm.
You know, not because social media really is not a real place.
Yeah.
and right now, you give anybody can get a bus shirt, a iPhone, and a ring light, and they think they 21st century Howard Cosell.
Man.
So everybody got a voice. Everybody wants to be a pundit and talk about what they don't know. So, I'm here, man, and so I just like order and peace. And unfortunately, sometimes things happen and people have no idea what's going on. So, but I'm good because I'm at peace.
I know that. I know
I'm
that.
good.
Well, let's level the land and clear it some.
Yeah.
So you have been a friend of the program, friend of Coach Prime. I remember I'm back home in Jackson right now, Pastor. I remember you coming in under the radar to visit him at the hospital.
Yeah.
And go right back out and doing things and never seeking the light or attention for it. And when he got to Colorado, with Atlanta and Georgia being such a hotbed for recruiting, you had never shied away from letting the world know that they were great players there and putting them in a situation where they can get to Colorado, and never seeking credit or attention for it. Just have some relationship capital. But when guys decide to hit the portal, now everybody want to blame Pastor for it.
Well, I'm
the dynamic of the portal.
Well, Coach Prime and I have been friends since 2002. He was in the league then, and that's how far we go back. And then when he had Truth Academy, I probably sent 5-10 kids from Atlanta to Dallas who were in trouble, who were gifted athletes. One had lost his father, kind of like an alternative program to education, sent them down to him to get them straightened out. 3 of those kids end up playing Division I football. So we've always had a relationship of helping kids. I've always respected him for that, and I've always been involved in sports as well. And of course, Jackson, we were there together. That's when I met him. And I realized our first year in Colorado, we took what we had to get out of the portal. We just took. We got here in December. We trying to field a team in April, so we had to get players. And I'm convinced, and I tease him and Warren Coach Sapp all the time. You can't win, brother, unless you got some dogs from Georgia. I don't care. They talk about Florida and Texas. Bump all that junk. That's good. You got the Georgia. Dukes know what I'm talking about. And I had some young men who I've known their daddy before their daddy was married to their mama. His dad was a preacher, and we went to Morehouse with fraternity brothers. And he has, he's a hell of an athlete himself. His brother, Rod, who had played in the NFL, and he has 4 boys who Division I players, and the best one is coming up. He's 12 years old. And so that's Benji Hood. Shout out to my brother Benji. And he had 2 boys who grew up in my house, Colton and Brandon. Colton was went to Auburn. He's a 4-star, incredible athlete, like Coach, just as good in baseball as he was in football. And Brandon, with a running back a year behind him, who's really, most people don't know this, has been the dog. He has been the star the whole time. And really, in my opinion, and most people who know the situation, is more gifted. So I was able to try to convince them, because I knew they always want to play together. And Colton, Brandon didn't want to go to Auburn because Auburn stopped recruiting him when he tore his knee up in 11th grade. And so Coach offered him, and he was going to University of Georgia. And I said, I'm going to get these boys. I went to work on them, and they were so enamored by Coach Prime, the possibility of the culture and what he was doing. And also not just play for Coach, but play together. That Colton, who was going to be starting at Auburn, Dukes can attest to this. He would have been starting last year. And I believe Brandon would have played last year at Georgia with what they had. They decided to come play together. And before they got there, people tried to keep them from coming. And they said a bunch of bad stuff to kind of muddy the water, I believe, for Brandon. But last year we had a quarterback, the best quarterback in the nation, with 4 wide receivers who are in the league now. And so the scheme really was to highlight their talents. That's why you got your Dewey Sanders, no matter what happened, he's the best quarterback. And so with the RPO, new line of scrimmage, so we have not really been a running team. And because
Pass, we lost you right there.
Yeah, let me text him and let him know. Look like a battery or something. They just cut off. So
Yeah,
he may know.
That definitely was on his side right there. But he was definitely getting into it, guys. Hey, Put something in the chat right now. Put questions in the chat. Put hey pastor in the chat. Put something in the chat. Let us know you're engaged and you're listening.
Let's blame
Andre
Chico.
Walker said, let's blame Chico. Of course. Blame it on the cheek.
I second that motion.
Got you feeling geek. Blame it on the phone. Okay. The weather is
Second that
good in
motion.
A. I mean, you gotta have I almost said a big back, but strong shoulders to carry that load when people want to just blame things on you. You understand me? So put it on my shoulders. I can carry it.
What'd you say? Put it on your shoulders.
That's the same thing he told his barber.
Man, that was an alley-oop for Uncle Neely. I was.
You just did that thing like that. Yeah.
Come on now, dog.
My bad, Chico. My bad.
Unbelievable.
I'm
bring Pastor back on to bring some civilization to this.
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. So what happened? Last year, he's a true freshman, the last one to get there, and so he didn't play much. Colton got an opportunity to show some what he can do. But I think what happened in this and so in the spring, Brandon got a chance to show his stuff the last week or so of spring camp and a little bit. But you got a brand new wide receiver coach. I mean, brand new running backs coach. And so who was not here with Brandon, who didn't know Brandon. And so didn't get a chance to really see him do what he need to do. And when coaches come in, new coaches, they know what they want. Really, he didn't get the opportunity to really show himself due to injury. You got a brand new coach. And so as is the portal, we all know this. Our whole team was built from the portal.
Amen.
And so I think we get so emotionally attached. And our first day in Colorado, coach said, listen, I'm bringing my luggage with me, and it's Louis.
Yeah.
We built the whole team. So it's like free agency. And so what happens when a new coach comes along, they're allowed to bring their own. And so the decision was made, by new coaches to do what they need to do. And so the guys got in the portal. Well, what happened, when the announcements were made, I congratulated, both my nephews. These boys, my nephews. They consider me their uncle. When I did that, I was flying back and I didn't notice, but some content creator on YouTube had put out that I was their agent, made them leave and trying to get money off the university. Because I brought like 5 or 6 players. Zach Owens, who was our lineman, I brought him with us from Clemson. He got into the portal and went to Mississippi State. But there was a decision, had nothing to do with me. These boys, 300 pounds, they all kinds of money. Family makes decisions. I had nothing to do with that. I also brought Michael Welch. I also brought RJ. Well, I didn't bring Michael, but I strongly told Coach for a couple of years when they weren't sure if they were going to offer him or not. Mm-hmm. And RJ Johnson. So I brought all these kids. But when the boys decided, listen, we only came here to play together, and we're gonna get in the portal. Somebody went on YouTube, did a whole thing saying I was trying to grift the boys. Then I started getting attacked on social media, like for simply congratulating them, right? Mm-hmm. And then the father told me the boys were taking a beating. They called them grifters and you're not loyal. So I told one guy who says, man, you're grifting off the boys and you fake and you're in coach's face and you're fake. I said, listen, man, it's simple. They only came to Boulder because they want to play together. That's what I said. I said, it's always a clown on here. I said, they came to Boulder because they want to play together. When new coaches come in, they're able to bring bring in new players. This is the portal. This is not Little League. It's not, so they brought in they want to go a different direction. And I said, both of them, they didn't want both of them, right? They only wanted one. Both of them were not wanted. They didn't want 2 of them. So they moved to the direction. Nobody's angry. Nobody's mad. Well, unbeknownst to me, I think one of the coaches saw it. And my assumption is because, and I know people were very emotional because, man, what they were doing in Shador in the draft, which was one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. And I think, and so it was, London Bridge is falling down. Oh, the buses are falling. And so when I put that out there, one of the coaches was like, don't spread, Pastor, the real. Yeah, and I'm telling the real. I think the assumption was I was saying they didn't want either one of the guys. Now, I'm saying both of them. They didn't want both of them. Not they didn't want any of them. Not they didn't want neither one of them. Both were not wanted, right? which means 2 of them were not wanted. I didn't say not one of them. So I think they misread it and everybody was emotional. And then the fans just went to her. I'm saying I'm spreading locker room information. This is the narrative. This is the story. Even the boys and family put a statement out corroborating what I said. But I just think everybody was emotional and people don't read, they make assumptions. But I was not saying that the school didn't want either one of them. I'm saying new coaches. I even prefaced it by saying new coaches. This is the truth. We do it every time. So it's not something, it's like we act like this is participation league. This is football. College football is a business. And every year, every semester, somebody gets in the portal. Somebody enters, somebody leaves. It's not because somebody's wrong. It's not because somebody was always done wrong. It's new coaches have the opportunity to bring who they want. And so the guys made a decision, if we're not going to be here together, we don't want to be 2,000 miles away from home by ourselves. We're going to get in the portal and see what happens. So now you got a whole fan base, many of our fans, off lies and assumptions, and because they don't read, thinking that I'm a snake and I'm grifting. Like I got 1 penny. Man, I love Coach. I love the Buffs at the same. And so it's almost like if a player leaves, they want you to be mad at the player or mad at the institution.
Yeah.
I'm saying I can love my brother, Coach Prime, support him, agree with him, disagree. He's my brother for life, and nobody's going to hurt him. At the same time, I'm not going to turn my back on my nephews who like blood to me because they made a decision that was best for them. So I can love Coach and the Buffs and still support my nephews. My relationship with them is not based on them being Colorado Buffs. Am I hurt by it? Absolutely. Do I wish we could have been here? Absolutely. Do I believe Brandon Hood and Coach Hood are going to be NFL players? Absolutely. But based on this scenario and how everything worked out, it just didn't work out in this instance. They're going to be fine. They're going to be great. They come from great stock, and the Buffs are going to continue to be great. I don't know why we got to have I think you told me, Neely, why we got to have a villain. I wish it could have worked out differently. I wish, because I know they both can be incredible assets. But I also know people come and go in the portal all the time, and we're going to be all right. And nobody's going to make me choose between the two. I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to choose either the Colorado or choose my nephews. It'll never happen. I'm going to be just as different and just as loving to all of them. And I hope to get a chance to talk to Coach Mathis. I wish he'd have reached out so I could, because this is what happened. This was just, I'm not lying, but it makes me like I was a liar, and this is the truth. I ain't got nothing to lie about. I don't get paid from this. I don't have nothing to lie about. Yeah.
No, we know you're not lying. No, you're not hiding. You're speaking your truth and standing on your business. One of the things that you and I did talk about, Pastor, is that, through whether it's the Pregame Network, Reach the People, Well Off Media, Smack Entertainment, you name it, even the school's media team with Snelson, fans feel like they really know these players. They get attached to these players. They get emotionally attached, emotionally invested. And then when it comes to be a parting of ways, which, keep in mind, a lot of these guys who come in left somebody when they came here, and we celebrate that departure. But when they leave us, we got to try to find the Joker against the Batman. It has to be something nefarious. Something had to be going wrong. The locker room is burning down. What's taking place? And so we look for, someone to blame instead of just understanding this is part of the collegiate process. And when you talk about people just taking assumptions, lies, and running with them or won't read, one thing people can do is read the room. Throughout the process, when have the Hoods attacked you or you attacked the Hoods? Throughout this whole process, when have the Hoods attacked Coach Prime or Coach Prime attacked them? Throughout this whole process, when have Coach Prime attacked Pastor Smith or Pastor Smith attacked Coach Prime? Like, you can look at the relationship capital, the tangible relationship capital, and see this is just one of those things where what happened was in the best interest of both parties, even though parties would have hoped it would happen differently. It just didn't work out. And that doesn't mean somebody did something wrong.
Man, again, it could have been said more. It couldn't have been said better. I wish it could have been different. And I think, given time, it would have worked out. But in this instance, you got to make a decision. You got to move quickly. The portal's closing. Players are coming. Coach had said, and here's the other thing, people miss this. Coach said after the spring game about the players that we're looking for, he explicitly said, we're looking for 2 running backs.
Yeah.
Well, if you got 4 running backs on the scholarship at that time, Dallin, Micah, Charlie, Brandon. If you're looking for 2 more running backs, that makes 6.
Somebody got to go.
Most teams don't care but 5 running backs and a few walk-ons. We can't carry 125 players. Now it's 105 players. So if he was looking for 2 running backs, people, they don't study, they don't get it. So what I'm saying is not, well, you spreading locker room business. Are you kidding me? The portal is a reality. I'm not lying. And I just think people assumed I was saying they didn't want both of them. That's not what I said. I said new coaches can bring, I make sure to specify new coaches can bring in their players. It's their right. It happens all the time. It's business. It's not personal. And they took it, Colton and Brandon are 2 of the brightest young men I ever met. And they're going to do well. Their mother's a pediatrician. Their father's a genius, Morehouse grad. They come from a family of Columbus and Phoenix City. That's a great family.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Where's the mother from?
Mother's from Selma, Alabama.
Selma, Alabama. Okay, I just want to make sure the people in the back heard that, especially Uncle Neely.
But you saying that way from Honolulu, man. Be quiet.
Oh, but hold on, no. Pastor, I'm from Selma, Alabama. Don't get it right now. I'm out here living.
Touche.
Yeah, there you go.
I was just down there for the commemoration of Bloody Sunday. So
nice.
Yeah, so it hurts me because I know. And Colton, he wanted to be close to home. He didn't want to be out there without his brother. And I feel Colton, he didn't want to be out there without his brother. They came together, and I think it was his dream to play for Coach Prime. And when his brother wasn't there, he didn't want to be 2,000 miles away from without his brother.
And Pastor, let me interject something real quick to the chat out there. They wanted to play together, right?
Yes.
And you were able to, through relationships with family, communicate Coach Prime, and that dream came true.
Absolutely.
When they both had to hit the portal, just because they don't end up at the same place this time does not negate what you're saying about the timeline.
These boys and people, Colton Hood lied. They didn't. They want to play together. What happens next? Man, these boys had on their vision board. Their dad and mom will make them do vision boards every year. When Brandon was 8 and Colton was 9, they wrote on the vision board that we want to play Division I football together. And although I'm hurt and brokenhearted that they both departed, I wasn't gonna complain, because what I learned is this: often your blessing is in your complaint. And my complaint is that they're leaving. My complaint is that they're not going to be able to show the world who they really are as athletes, because I don't think there's a better cornerback in college football than Colton, and I don't think there's a better running back in college football other than Brandon Hood. And the world's going to see that. But we didn't have the time to make this happen. But the blessing is God allowed me to introduce them to Coach Prime and their dream of playing together in college football. It came to pass. And so I'm not going to complain, because what they dreamt, they wanted to play for Coach Prime. Coach Prime was Colton's idol. He wanted to be mentored by him. And guess what? For a whole year, that happened. And so what this kid dreamed at 9 years old, I was a part of that. And so for that, my blessing is in the complaint. So I'm not going to complain, man. I'm grateful they're both healthy. Brandon came back from a severe knee injury, and what God has for him is for him. What God has for Colton is for Colton. And what God has for the Buffs is for the Buffs. So, baby, it's still Sko Buffs, Sko Coach Prime, but at the same time, it's Sko Brandon, it's Sko Colton. It's Sko Trent. I'm not going to turn my back on my family because they don't play for the team I want to play for. Not going to do that. And they don't try to pull down Coach. Coach is trying to pull down his life.
Absolutely not.
It doesn't work out, man. Sometimes that's what it is.
Chico, Dukes, I know y'all got something for the pastor, but let me ask the two of y'all something. In this history report on the Coach Prime, is Colton Hood the first starter to leave?
No.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Not at all.
So when people say, but Pastor Colton was starting, that has nothing to do with what we're discussing.
Did Dylan Edwards start?
Yeah.
Did
Look at the defensive lineman that started.
Man, Anthony Hankerson, Jordan Tyson. We had a lineman from Syracuse, a center, Wells, Lichman's, the other lineman, all conference. I mean, it's. I think what really happened here was everything with the draft and the timing of this, because when Shedeur Sanders gets drafted in the 5th round, man, it seems like there's a concentrated attack to hurt the program, right? It seems like that was a concentrated, and people people leaving because they want to get drafted. Man, they ain't had they chasing money. No, it's just with a brand new coach, running backs coach, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. The draft is going on. Well, why didn't they get in the portal earlier? Well, the spring game was a week before, and the conversation was held April 25th. So it was not like they planned this the whole time. That's what people say. They planned to hurt. No, they had the conversation and they had to make a decision right then. So that's business. Sometimes it doesn't work out in timing, and you ain't got 2 weeks. Sometimes life doesn't go according to plan. And so I just hated they're trying to tear the young man down or trying to tear coach down, like, oh, the school did something, or the coach don't know what they're doing. I don't like that, man. Or the pastor trying to make money. How the heck in Hades am I trying to make some money off doggone players who I love and have known them all their lives? I mean, come on, let's be for real, man. It's just folks that get on your nerve. They make me itch sometimes, and I'm trying not to use profanity, man. But my God, but I ain't forgot how to cuss, But, yeah, man, it teases you off, man. Because I'm all you, coach. I'm all whatever Coach Brown needs me to do. Whatever I can do for anybody, I'm gonna do it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna turn my back on my nephews because they made a decision for them. They were not trying to hurt the program. They had to do what they had to do in short order for themselves. And what Colton should have stayed. Well, that's your opinion. That he's got to live his life. We can't tell him what to do, right? And if he didn't feel comfortable being 2,000 miles away from home without his brother, if he felt like his brother wasn't there, he couldn't do it. That's his right. That's his choice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And what I wanted to say too is I think a lot of people, and I've seen this on social media as well, people keep saying, well, why isn't Brandon going to Tennessee? The thing is, Colton came to Colorado to play with not only his brother, but his friends and his cousin, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why he came to Colorado. That's not why he's playing college football.
Right.
It's a difference. So him going to Tennessee is not far from Atlanta, Georgia. Him going to Colorado, the only way that he would have been at Colorado, he didn't go to Colorado by himself. He only chose Colorado to play with his family, whether that be extended family, cousin, brother. All right. Now that he cannot play with those guys, he reopened his recruitment and found out the best place for him individually. I don't know how much clearer it could be. And I think people are really just trying to be mad and wanting to point the finger because they want to say, hey, man, we got to hang somebody up in town square because this guy shouldn't have left. And this means that this staff can't evaluate and this staff is wrong and we're doing it wrong. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. Then maybe you should find a program that has a staff that you like to root for. I mean, seriously, because if you don't agree with this staff and what they do, if it's good when you win 9 games and it's the sky's falling when you lose 3 or 4, then are you truly a fan of the program? Because if not, then maybe you're not a fan and you're just and maybe you're a pundit. Maybe you should get your ring light and your microphone and, get from behind, the profile picture of somebody doing a drive-by and come state your opinion with your name on it and then do it that way. But just to continue just to be like, oh, well, this can't be true because you lack basic comprehension skills. And I don't think it's a lack of comprehension skills. I think it's of a lack of want to understand so you can continue to push a negative agenda and say, now I got something to talk about why I don't like these people to validate your disdain for the program. And I think that's all it boils down to.
Man, Colton, Brandon, and Trent live together. When those two, and they're like brothers. When those two are leaving, he by himself and Zach left. The only ones left now is RJ, even though they played against Micah. These boys grew up together. And Colton, he made a decision. He felt like I can't be here without I'm not comfortable being here without my brother. For whatever reason, that's his choice to make. And at the same time, am I hurt by it? Yes. Do I wish this could have been differently? Yes. and people trying to attack Brandon. He's not good enough. They're clowns. They have no idea who Brandon Hood is. At the same time, I gotta trust my coach. Coach Prime is a Hall of Famer. Coach Prime is a leader. We talk. I follow his direction. He asked my opinion. I share it when he asked. I'm gonna be there for him regardless. When he was in the hospital and the doctor said he was gonna possibly lose his life or lose his leg, Neely, you know, I was right there with him. I'm not in this for me. I'm not grifting. I love Coach Prime. I love the Buffs. At the same time, I knew that my nephews loved him too. And I was just trying to bring the best. So that's all I'm trying to do, man. And I'm not going to let people make me choose between the two. I hate that people tear people's character up and don't know crap. They don't know crap, but try to pull people down, man. And people have to make a decision for themselves. And I'm going to be here. And again, I hope to talk to Coach Mathis at some point so he can hear, man, I'm not, listen, and I'm not, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to say, and when somebody attacks me and say I'm grifting, and somebody on YouTube saying I'm making money off the players, and thousands of people now look at this because I say, go be great, nephew. So I can't even come at my nephew without being a snake. I can't even say,
have literally grown up in your house.
In my house. Travel with me.
But Pastor, we got, and it's one thing that we all have to remember too. The peanut gallery remains the peanut gallery, rather they got truth to facts or lies. The peanut gallery gonna be the peanut gallery.
No, and so, the lies are more exciting, dude. To them.
Whether it's truth or a lie or it's opinion, and a lot of it is opinion. And I think this is the thing that we talk about. When people have opinions of how things happen, they usually want to corroborate their opinion to make it fact. Because the fact, what you just say, the lie or the opinion will go further than the fact.
Oh, absolutely.
And what I've always said in this situation, because outside of Pastor Smith, probably nobody will know in this space will know that family as well as I do. So even going back to me and Rod being in school together, you know, busting plates down when Rod was still a walk-on at Auburn. Like we talking 2000, 2001. That's my partner. So when it comes down to it, sometimes I'm gonna reiterate this. Sometimes things just don't work out. That don't mean that this person wrong. That don't mean that this person wrong. They don't work out. And that's okay because this is college football and it's a business. So I'm not going to take anybody's opinion away from them because everybody is entitled to their opinion. They are. But I think the problem is when you spread opinion as if it's fact, that's where you get misinformation and it becomes dangerous. And that's the problem.
And that's why, Dukes, a lie unchallenged can become the truth. And I appreciate Pastor coming on and telling his truth, the truth. He was a part of these conversations. He's a part of both sets of families and the organization. Because you're exactly right. You are entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. The facts are the facts. And the facts are this is the nature of college football. The portal door opens and we celebrate when somebody's coming to us. And there's another fan base over there crying that somebody left. And they're doing the same thing. Oh, the house is burning down. Something must be wrong. When the reality is nothing is wrong. This process, for people that have been football fans 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 or more years, this is still a relatively new process to us. We are not used to this yet. But this is going to continue to happen. And as we've been saying, it is not indicative of something being wrong. It is indicative of someone looking for the best opportunity for them. And what I love about Coach Prime is he will help you find that opportunity.
Let me say this.
It doesn't work out when you're with him. I don't care if it's Jack State, Colorado. Fits sometimes don't fit the way it was playing. He will help you get somewhere that fits. He ain't trying to hate on nobody, keep nobody from succeeding. And again, Pastor, I go back to this simple point. When you look at the real relationships in this circumstance, nothing has changed between the hoods and you and the hoods, or you and Coach Prime and you, or you and the organization, the program. Like, I don't know why people who don't know people are madder than the people who know people.
This is why I want to commend you, Chico, Neely, and you Dukes. And I want to challenge other content creators, man. Your voice matters. And just to put lies out about people's character just for likes. I mean, I know everybody, it's a content created society, but man, just to deliberately lie on people that you don't know without any facts, without reaching out, to say I'm acting as the agent making money, and now you got thousands of people seeing this, This is a few hours after they got into the portal. And now half the fan base is looking at me because I come to say I'm a snake. And all I'm trying to do is sad. So I want to commend you guys for having integrity with your reporting, with your content. You never try to tear people down just for clicks and likes and to make some freaking money. Because you reap what you sow, and you do people like that and try to destroy somebody's character for nothing. It's gonna come back now. I'm telling you, everything. Everything. Now you can't do people any kind of way like that and just expect to be blessed. And
Right.
I think the other thing is try to get understanding, man. And I hate it, because I just hate that this happened. But I'm encouraged. And again, my blessing is in the complaint. Those guys dreamt of playing together at 8, 9 years old. Those coaching dreamt of being mentored by Coach Prime. And even though it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, it happened. And so I
don't know, Pastor. Somewhere in your training, Chico dropped out of Bible college, but somewhere in your training and your leadership of your church.
Look at Pastor, man. You believe that? Look at Pastor.
but Pastor, let me make this point, and I'll tell you the story. But somewhere in your pastoral leadership and training, it's been said to you, because you said it to us, lean not into your own understanding.
Yeah.
Like stop looking at it from your lens. I used to tell folks all the time, the reason y'all get stuff wrong about Coach Prime is that you're not looking at what Coach Prime would do. You're looking at what you would do.
Yeah.
And he don't move based on money. He don't move based on liking somebody and not liking somebody. All the things, little petty things that we harbor, like he ain't built that way no more. Absolutely. And so you're like, oh, I believe he gonna do this. No, you believe that because that's what you would do. If you look at his track record, that ain't how he navigates. And so even in this process, you haven't seen these folks be upset. Matter of fact, let me tell you, we can shift here, Pastor. What they've been happy about is look who is coming into the program.
Absolutely.
Like look at these two stellar quarterbacks that you have where you could draw straws blindfolded and you're going to be all right. Look at the defensive line depth, this revamped and rebuilt offensive line, this wide receiver room that's deeper than ever. Even on the DB side and the safety side, the players that come in. And Pastor, no one
Marshall Falk.
Yeah, like you look at the life that you lead in Atlanta with your church and being a spiritual guide and mentor in that capacity for Coach Prime as well as chaplain for the team. You see it. You see that this team is better than it was before.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. And at the same time, I was hurt when Dylan left.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want him to leave. But guess what? But I cheer him on when he does well, except when he plays Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want Hankerson to leave. Hankerson had 1,000 yards rushing
at Oregon State.
Oregon State. He had a great year. I cheered him on when he made touchdowns. I posted congratulations. I don't wish him well. Tyson had 1,000 yards receiving for Arizona State. He's not with us. Kamani was everybody who's up close know Kamani was my guy. I fought for Kamani. Coach Prime and I would go back and forth, tooth and nail. I just love Kamani. I like the underdog. Coach Prime and I would go back and forth about Kamani. We would go back and forth. I would reach out to Kamani.
And Pastor, many of those extra chances he got were because of you.
Absolutely. And he left. It happened. He needed it. But I'm hearing reports. I'm following him. He's getting better. He's doing better. So sometimes God or life will send circumstances to grow you and mature you. Sometimes, this is what I know. God always writes straight, but sometimes he uses crooked lines. God always writes straight. God always writes straight, but sometimes he uses crooked lines. So whether it be Colton, whether it be Dillon, whether it be Hankerson, Tyson, Savion Riley, God writes straight, but he uses crooked lines. And so, it's go bust. And I believe the team is going to be more balanced. We're going to have to be. We can't depend on number 2 out there.
Yeah.
Look at 12. Look at the wide receiver room. Maybe not the same experience, but more depth than we had last year. Mm-hmm. We got dogs, so hey man, all things work together for good. And again,
the fine print now, the fine print, Pastor.
Yes,
Let me get your business a little bit.
Go ahead.
All things work together for good for those who believe.
Yes, sir.
Like you don't believe now, it don't apply to you. You got to believe this thing, and that's when it works for the good. Chico, you had dropped out by the time
you just stayed in there for the extra crackers after class, and you learned that part.
Look, Pastor, make no mistake about it. Let me tell you something, Pastor. Let me tell you
Get
something,
back,
Pastor.
Chico.
You
That's all
can't
he
use
was-
the truth against me, Chico, because I would tell anybody, like I've told y'all before, my mama made me go to vacation Bible school, but that jungle juice and lemon cookies made me stay.
And a lie
I
don't
could
care
have
who
easily
sell it.
snuck out and went to the playground and came back when she was there to pick me up. But I knew they said, hey, man, you can't get the lemon cookies and jungle juice until you sit through the whole thing. Oh, I ain't going nowhere.
Sat
And since
there
I'm
with his
sitting here,
hands on his
unlike
knees
you,
and
Chico, when I
participated.
sit somewhere, I actually try to learn something.
You sat there and participated then. I'm gonna get them
For the
lemon.
lemon
I'm gonna
cookies
get
and the
them lemon
jungle
cookies.
juice. You went to Bible college and they tried to take you, make you take a Bible class. You dropped out because you said that what you signed up for. You just wanted to fight in.
That's partially true, but somehow I graduated with honors. Pastor,
Yeah,
you've been Duke said something about the social media drive-by.
yeah.
And things that go on social media. How do you navigate that space without compromising your beliefs?
Well, you know, for me, like Twitter for me, or X is really just my football thing. I'm a comedian, so you got the other things, but I try to do all things but sports for the most part on Twitter. And so when I'm in the sports space, I'm not the preacher. I'm the chaplain. But Neely and I, we've been together. I studied football. I am a football fanatic. My church knows from September through January, our scripture is whatever thou doest, do it quickly. Because I got to be in front of TV at Sunday at 1 o'clock. So they know.
Hey, Duke, what you be telling Chico? Don't nothing take all day.
Listen,
Hey, man, hey, don't take all day, do man.
Man, I love the Lord and I love football.
Yes.
I like the banter. I like the trash talking. I go to the barbershop. I like being loud and I like the energy. And so when somebody says I'm a snake, I'm gonna say you stupid. Yeah, because you're stupid if you really think that I'm trying to do anything to hurt Coach Prime or Griffin. So I try not to, I'm not gonna use profanity or expertise, but I'm not gonna be weak either. Jesus wasn't weak. So that's the problem. We made Jesus be weak. We think Jesus was a man with saltine color skin walking around Palestine with a dress on and sandals with a man laying his head on his chest saying thou says. Jesus was strong. He'd go in the temple and turn over tables. So you can't attack people and then want to question them when they respond. So I try to be wise when I respond, and everything doesn't need a response because people, as Uncle Neely called them, and I heard Duke say it's always the peanut gallery. But when there are lies that are blatant that could try to hurt the program and hurt a kid, that's when I spoke up. That's what I only responded because a guy put on YouTube with my picture and my face, and it had thousands of views that literally said I was their agent making money off them, and now people on Twitter saying I'm a fake pastor because I celebrated culture. I had to respond to that. So I try to laugh and joke. I'm jovial and I'm comedic. The other thing I've learned about Twitter and social media, you should never read emotions into a text. We try to read meaning and emotion into a text. Yeah. So when I said they didn't want both of them, they didn't want both of them. People mistook that mean, oh, they didn't want both of them? No, they didn't want the both of them. They didn't want two of them. And I preface that by saying new coaches have a right. So people read stuff, they misinterpret stuff, and I try to clarify it, but I typically don't do that to talk about the program, but because I felt they were attacking Coach. They were attacking Coach Mathis, attacking Coach Falk, attacking the kids, and attacking me, that I need to bring some clarity. And then the boys had already put this statement. I knew the whole facts. Yeah. I knew what was going on. And Coach was preoccupied trying to handle things we should do, trying to get our kids drafted. But I knew the fact. I would never get on social media and lie about something. And so my thing is I'm trying to bring peace and resolution, not
confliction.
Yeah. So I just think everything doesn't deserve your attention. My mama told me, son, don't ever argue with a fool. Because people coming by won't know which one of y'all is fool. So everything doesn't deserve a response. But if it's something that can be catastrophic or dangerous to somebody's character, that's typically I would not have responded. But because of the social media post, the YouTuber, and I hope to meet him one day. I hope to see him at a game. You know, the Bible
his name. Who was it?
No. Oh,
don't give him no shot. Don't give him no shout out, Duke.
No.
I don't hear him.
But y'all pray.
Tell us after.
Y'all pray that I don't use these holy
And
hands.
ha-has.
Yeah,
Ha-ha.
Pastor, I was gonna say, man, we don't
Holy
want you to
hands.
lay hands. We want you to pray from a distance. We don't want you to. That's one of the times we don't need you to actually reach out and touch somebody.
Easy.
Because we don't want to go to the holy bail bondsman. So we gonna hey Pastor, but I appreciate you coming on, like real talk, and being able. And one thing I think that a similarity that we do have is that we like to face things head on and face to face. And then but it's just like you told me. Now what you tell me, Pastor? You said, dude, you gotta chill, dude. Pastor got dude, you gotta chill, you know. So man, he told me so, man. I appreciate you coming on and the way you handle everything, you know, just is kind of I'll say like a blueprint for me. Because I want to get back with everybody who say something that ain't, and sometimes you just can't do that. And especially when people are watching you in a different light. So man, I appreciate that mentorship.
Yeah, I close with this, man. If it's not in your vision, why is it on your calendar or in your spirit?
We try to tell those people in chat, you know, that be hating on us. We try to tell them that the whole
Coach
time.
Pastor, I got to be honest with you. I lived that way, but I never put words to it. I used to tell myself, like, I still got a desk calendar, you know, the one of the big ones that you write on.
Yeah.
And I write down what I got to do today and the next day. And I'll tell people, man, that wasn't on my to-do list today. But I didn't look at the way you just worded. Like, I am thankful for like the discernment and the blessing and past that Lord has put me on. And really, let me say this to you. There's a lot of folks I have met personally that I wouldn't know if I didn't know Deion Sanders. And E. Dewey Smith is right up there with Dr. J. Like getting to know you and the text message we exchange when we're going through something. Like, it just helps with the encouragement, because this world will make you lash out at somebody. It'll make you do something that's not on your to-do list for the day. And so what I try to do is, like, today is Wednesday. I already got wrote out what I'm supposed to do Thursday and Friday. And clapping back if somebody ain't one on.
Yeah, it's some people don't deserve your energy, man. And for what I realize is, the energy that you spend on folks that don't have a say is energy you could be spending on your life and the thing God has called you to do or what's next. So it's hurtful, but I know people are emotional and people need growth. We all are growing, you know what I mean? But it's crazy, man.
Hey man, Pastor put them hands on the screen. He said, I want to use it.
Hey, holy hands.
Hey, he's still working with me, dudes. Don't bother people I love. Don't bother. Now you come for me. Hey. You come for me, man, but you're not gonna bother Coach Brian. You're not gonna bother the boss, anybody associated, and you're definitely not gonna bother Colton and Brandon Hood. That's not gonna happen, man. I can take it, but don't come for people I love.
Pastor, there's still a little bit of Saul left in that Paul. Hello,
listen, man.
Hello,
he ain't through with me yet, man.
Hello. Okay.
Hey, speaking of Saul and Paul, this is a good opportunity as we cross the hour mark. Chico, do you want to tell Pastor about when you broke that window to Selma Church?
I would like to say, Pastor.
No.
Pastor, thank you very much for joining us once again, Pastor. Uncle Neely likes to bring up little stuff when we were little kids. You know what I mean? So it's all right. It's all right. It happens.
Chico, you vandalizing the house of the Lord, Chico.
Deliberately. And when he wasn't throwing a brick at the bird, he hit the window. Like, no, he tried to take the window out. Brick went in the church.
Oh Lord.
Pastor, needless to say, I got a switch, a belt, a house shoe, racetrack, hands. I had hands laid on me that day. Better believe it.
I know what you're talking about, man. Man, I thank you for this opportunity, man, because I wanted to. I was hoping I get the opportunity to share, you know, this with the audience. You know, Coach and I, we talked, you know, immediately, and he knew where I was coming from, and like, what is all this? How did they get confused? And the whole story, and again, I hope to be able to talk to Coach Mathis, because, like, you know, I'm looking out for you too. You know, I'm looking out for the Buffs. You know, but I love this opportunity, man. I appreciate y'all, and I want to just maybe it's a lesson for those who listening, man. Don't be careful where you spend your energy. Don't cast your pearl before swine. Everybody doesn't deserve your attention. And here's my thing: if it does not finance you, if it does not advance you, if it does not enhance you, if it does not romance you, then why are you giving it a chance?
He ain't lying.
Man. That's
I gotta
key
really think
right
my
there.
relationship with Chico now. I appreciate that, Pastor.
Listen, if it doesn't enhance, advance,
Nope.
finance, or romance,
Nah.
then you need some distance. And maybe that's the lesson. So Chico, are you advancing? Are you enhancing, Chico? Are you financing, Chico?
I'm gonna get some distance though between me and Chico.
Chico,
Hey man, Pastor, we appreciate this door like your church is open anytime to you. Love you come back on because when I stand on the sideline with you, one thing the audience missed is how much football you actually know and that you do this. So we want to catch back up and have you on some football segments as well. If you joined us, it's the morning run. Rewind and watch this. This is Wednesday, so Thursday night we got Uncle Chico live, and then Friday morning when it's morning somewhere we'll be back with the morning run. Big Dog Chico, Deuce Scoop. Love you, brothers. Pastor, any words shouting out?
I love y'all, man. Chico, put them bricks down. Now.
Pastor, I think you would have forgave me if you was the pastor. I was only like 5 or 6, Pastor. I was only like 5 or 6. You would have forgave me. You would have invited me in the church. You need to be in here, boy.
Come get this damn brick out. Yeah.
Love y'all, man. Take care, man.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Buffs.
Thanks, Pastor. Yes, sir. Go Buffs. My gosh. Great show right there, man. Great show for a good hour. We got some good insights and information. Got me crying over here. Your face when he was saying advance, enhance.
I'm like, hey, then we got the romance. Oh, hell no. We know that ain't it.
I said, this
boy, you never know on the morning run. Hey, man, had an engaged chat today. Appreciate the chat. Everybody going back and forth with each other. That's what we love. We love for y'all to interact, engage, participate in the debate as well. Make sure y'all hit them like buttons, man. Make sure you turn that notification bell on. Go to Big Dog Chico channel, subscribe. Go to Deuce the Scoop and subscribe. Shout out to Deuce Scoop on crossing the 10,000 subscriber mark as well. It's all love under the Pregame Network umbrella. Love y'all, chat. Appreciate y'all. Big Dog Chico.
Y'all know what it is. The biggest dog Chico to the sea and the place to be. Up and up out of this thing. Thank you, Uncle Neely, Pastor Smith, Deuce the Scoops. Y'all know what to do, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Peace in the Middle East. Sure.